Alright, it's time for Team Battle Kha'Zix, and much like the team battles as of late, I'll mostly be ranting about his viability, which one, and telling you about, the things and good stuff about Kha'Zix. So, anyways, Kha'Zix, he is probably one of the best designed junglers in the game, though here's the thing about his balance, it's completely dictated by numbers and function. When he was released, he didn't really have the mana to do much of his abilities, unless you build, Tear of the Goddess and just spam the shit out of everything. Then they kind of retweaked him, gave him balance points, they removed some of his damage, compensated with mana utility, and he's come in and out of viability ever since then. Right now, I believe he's in the best state he's ever been without being overbearing. He's a sort of champion that if his numbers are a little too excessive, he'll be the most broken piece of crap ever. But if they're just about right, he'll be a very useful pick because he can adapt to any situation. As cheesy as it is to saying that's kind of his motif. Think of it this way. Once I get level 6, I can level four of my abilities. And get a whole different type of, thing going on with Kha'Zix. If I level up my Q, I will increase my dueling potential exponentially. I will murder the shit out of people in 1v1s and during ganks. But I won't have mobility and I won't have chasing power, or at least aiming power, so to say. If I level up my W, I'll have wave clear. I'll be able to push with my teammates. I'll be able to prevent my teammates from being pushed. I'll be able to harass from a distance, slow easier if I, without having to worry too much about aiming, and slow multiple people. That kind of good stuff, right? That will always exist. But everything else, my mobility will suffer, my Q won't be such, front-loaded damage. By the way, this is not the game I wanted to upload, it's just the other actual badass Kha'Zix game got corrupted, so this one's kind of a lame one. So I've chosen for this rant and whatnot. And if I level up my E, I'll have a lot of mobility, a lot of potential to, close the gap on someone. And better yet, I'll have a reset activated on it, so if I jump in on someone, kill them, I'll be able to jump out of safety. That mobility helps me gank people like an Ari or Ezreal or somebody with that kind of mobility to just move themselves out of my W, or just, make a lot of distance between me and him. So, Kha'Zix with a D can catch up to somebody and disengage before everybody obliterates them. And I haven't quite leveled up his ultimate as of late anymore since they nerfed it. But before it was nerfed, you could use it to become pretty much an insta-tank and to pretty much drop all aggro from when you get targeted. Like in a case of a team fight, I can jump in, burst somebody, either kill them or not, and go stealth. And during that stealth time, no one can hit me with any targeted abilities. And then I can reposition myself to either just leave and then pounce in again, or reposition myself close and attack somebody, and then you go stealth. But now they kind of nerfed it because you can't go stealth as quickly as you could, but still, the effect is still there. With that in mind, that's what gives Kha'Zix his greatest potential to continuously come back and be viable in most metas. If one aspect of it gets nerfed, another aspect becomes more valuable, and he can fit in whatever team comp might actually make use for that. Like in this team composition, me having my W leveled first was important because the rest of my team has great mobility. So me slowing the target down and pretty much giving him no chance to fight back, or well, not fight back, to run away, and at least doing it haphazardly so I don't miss with my tiny missile game, whatever. I never ult W, slow people. That's what I'm trying to say. My teammates can just jump on the target and finish them off. And that's why I evolved with it first. However, if my team was low mobility but has CC, sort of like having, I don't know, a Maokai top lane, he doesn't have mobility outside of using his W, and maybe a Syndra in the mid, I might consider using my E first, evolving it first, so I can jump on the target, apply red buff and my passive to slow them, and then use my W to slow them even further, and then have my teammate finally just catch up and dunk them. So either way, that's all good and stuff. Right now, there's no real reason to evolve Kha'Zix's Q, as it's been nerfed and the utility from your W and your E is far more important. But still, it doesn't mean you can't evolve it. It'll make him a far more deadly-ass duelist. Somebody asked me, so why wasn't Kha'Zix in your top 5 duelist thing? Though it's not exactly just my top 5 duelists. A lot of people consider that the definitive top 5 duelists. It's because the Kha'Zix has his fragility on him. And at least as far as early game goes, he's not the best until he gets... he's not that great at dueling until he gets a few ranks into his Q or into his other abilities. Once he gets like at least 3 ranks into his Q, he'll annihilate people. But till then, champions like Udyr and Skarner and Lee Sin will, smash him like the bug he is, especially if they lure him next to minions or something. Nonetheless, Kha'Zix builds have not been really that malleable, though that's not exactly a bad thing for an assassin like him. It really works for Kha'Zix. The builds you normally would want to go from the jungle are all pretty cost effective and useful. Like, here, I can go Brutalizer and Spirit of the Lizard Elder, which are two amazingly beautiful items for most jungle fighters. And after that, I can go Randuin's Omen, or hell, even more damage. But just these two items alone are really strong on Kha'Zix. And they're items that you would normally want to purchase on fighters from the jungle anyways. Because, you know, low cost, great ability, hybridization of items. So here, this is a sad thing. I fucked up how I chased Vayne, and then the little minion saves her from the last bullet shot that would have killed her. Spinal shot or whatever. And here I also overstay my welcome, and the Ahri shows up and just annihilates me. I should have run a lot sooner. And I probably should have just jumped over the wall. Nonetheless, though, it doesn't matter. We're kind of just dominating this game and running through the motions. So anyways, Kha'Zix is still someone you would probably want to pick if you want to carry the jungle. If you want to carry most games in lower level, and even higher level from then. Rengar has been nerfed quite considerably since his ultimate now gives you a giant, you know, here I'm a coming sign. So Kha'Zix is once again probably the best jungle assassin, unless you build Jarvan full AD, which is a risk on its own. So as a pure sort of fighter, Kha'Zix is probably seeing, you know, love once again. And there's really no other contestant right now that's an assassin with full physical that can replace him in that spot. Master Yi, perhaps, but you know, he's like a hybrid assassin fighter, and Kha'Zix is more of a pure burst fighter, and Wukong and Pantheon have sort of seen better days. So I think, yeah, Kha'Zix is sort of like the go-to guy now, replacing Rengar once again and going through their infinite rivalry. Anyways, hooray for Kha'Zix. Remember to give the video a like.